As a kid growing up, I remember how happy I was to play pieces by Robert Schumann and Johann Sebastian Bach and Prokofiev, Tchaikovsky. These are composers, just to mention a few, these are composers who wrote for children, who wrote children's pieces. And what was so wonderful about these pieces is that they were, of course, written so that an intermediate student or a child could play them. And the other joy about it is that it sounded like the composer. In other words, these pieces were simple, but you played a piece from album for the Young by Schumann, it sounded like Schumann. And you played a piece very simple from the Anna Magdalena notebook of Bach, it sounded like Bach. And that was so wonderful, and I decided there wasn't anything out there that would give the joy and excitement and experience of beginning and intermediate students who wanted to learn to play jazz. So I decided that I should write something, and that's what I did. I called it Portraits in Jazz, and in it there are 12 pieces, and they graduate in difficulty. And what I did was to make sure that those pieces had with it, the book had a recording of the pieces so that they could be heard by the students as well as the teachers. And then I did two other things. I had little biographical paragraphs on the people to whom for whom the pieces were based. And then I had notes. I had performing notes for the teachers because I figured there were a lot of piano teachers in Montana and Nebraska and Iowa and places like that who wouldn't know a thing about how to phrase in jazz and wouldn't understand the concepts and the styles. So I made those notes. So I tried to include all of that in Portraits in Jazz. Billy's song is just a pretty melody. It seems to be the most popular of all of the pieces. It surprises me a little bit because there are others in there that I love equally as well. But Billy's song seems to have gotten to everybody. I think it's a pretty pop song melody, and it's in the popular music form in AABA, and everybody likes it. I put some really nice harmonies to it, and everybody enjoys playing it because the harmonies sound very warm and they sound hip and they sound advanced. So people enjoy playing Billy's song. And the other one, Blues for the Duke, I wrote that with harmonies that are very reminiscent of how Ellington's horns voice themselves in how they're voiced in his orchestra, and I made it a blues based on a 12-bar blues with an opening of a melody, and then two choruses of a freer approach to the blues, and then the last chorus is like aria da capo when you have in classical music, where the first melody, playing of the melody returns, and so that's Blues for the Duke.